Good evening. Great to be back. Hope you're all well in the chat. See a few of you already in there being very patient. Thank you for your patience. Tonight I've got my mate, my bro, Kenny. How are you, Kenny?
I'm just glad to be on. You know, it's been like it's one of those days where you struggle, you know, for things to talk about because there hasn't really any matches. So it's when I think it's when journalists get really lazy. You know what I mean? There's been some really lazy stories. There's a lazy story about Aaron Ramsey not the possibility of Juventus selling him on for a profit because they got him on a free. That's a lazy story. No depth to that story. There's also players talking about how that how they're behind behind Arteta, blah blah blah. Lazy, words are cheap. Unai Emery's explaining himself again, defending himself to criticism from them again. So it's really been a lazy week. You know, it'd be nice that we've actually got some proper football to talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about that Ramsey soon. But let's look forward. Back again after the winter break, which you love so much, Kenny. But you know what I feel about it. I'm glad we're back on Sunday. It's not really all back and forth. It's all these games all separated over a period of time. But anyway, we got our game on Sunday. Newcastle United are in town, and I think they've been done well in London this year, haven't they? Didn't they beat West Ham and Spurs?
Yeah, yeah. Remember they've beaten Chelsea as well. Beating Chelsea as well in a last-minute goal. And what's happening? They got a little bit of form. They're beginning to warm to Steve Bruce. He's a very organised manager, and he's a good motivator. He gets the best out of his teams, wherever they do. A Steve Bruce team is never easy to beat.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Zane, for that. He says, I hope we'll get back. We'll get onto that later, Zane, about Ramsey, but you don't want him. I tend to agree with you, but we'll get back onto that later on, Ken. But thank you for your donation, and I will look on that later on. 1 minute, let's get this out of the way. Thanks to Alex. Yeah, so what will Newcastle do on Sunday? I think this is not going to be a good game to watch. I don't think it'll be one for the purists. I think it'll be like a checkmate. I think they'll come. We are very well organised. We seem to be a bit more organised defensively in the last couple of games. And Newcastle will come with an intention to counter-attack, possibly with a 5-man midfield with one up front. Don't know how you think they'll play like that? 4-5-1, will they? Kenny with Almiron on his own. How do you see?
No, I think Joelinton will play up front on his own, and they'll look to get support from Almiron, who's starting to get in the goal shit, and hopefully they'll like to keep Son Massine fit. He might come on the second half. He may not start the game. Steve Bruce may use Son Massine for the last half an hour if the game's going to be poised, because I think what Newcastle are going to do, obviously they're going to come for a point. They're making themselves very difficult to beat. But one thing Newcastle are going to look to do is that they're going to try and bluntness in midfield. And what I mean by bluntness in midfield is that what we tend to do, especially in the first 60 minutes of games, we tend to play Mesut Ozil in a position where we play him in sort of how do I say it? We play him behind the lines, and what we're trying to do with Mesut Ozil, we're trying to get him to look up, get those little quick passes to the to the wings, to people like Saka and Bellerin, and also try and get those little quick passes into the forwards, and then he can, when they hold the ball, he can run and join the attacks, and that tends to work. But I think what's happened in those sort of games, it only kind of lasts for about 50 or 60 minutes, because what will happen is that teams will tend to work us out. And I think that's what happened. It's been happening in a lot of games. It happened Chelsea away. It happened Burnley as well. So I think that's one of those things where Newcastle will be looking to try and cut off the supply, because we're not going to play Ceballos, and Xhaka will definitely play, and he'll definitely play Torreira, but they're not going to be those sort of players going to play in advanced position to try and get to the wings and the front too. So we need to maybe try something different. Another thing Newcastle have been looking at as well is that we struggle as to stay fit for the full 90 minutes. So there's nothing to stop them. If it's still nil, to get Son Massim on to try and stretch us, because you got to realise right now it's that Arsenal is not a game where you look in trepidation and think, well, I'm not looking forward to that. The teams generally believe they can beat us. They felt that way towards the end of Arsene Wenger's reign. Definitely felt that with Unai Emery this season, and they absolutely feel that still with Arteta. Though we're probably looking more organised. We're still beatable, Claude.
Yeah. It's a lot of people coming in about Ceballos, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I blocked that guy who's a big fan of the Realist. I blocked him. If he wants to come on, mate, go on the Realist channel. Don't come on mine. I'm not having that crap being put on here. Some people get a lot of laughs out of nothing. I know. Thank you, Zane, for that. Did you watch Sonny's video with Winterburn? Yes, I thought very good. Very good. And Nigel, very good of Nigel to go on there actually. And it was an enjoyable watch, and it's a good thing for Sonny to get Nigel on, and well done for that. Yeah, I did watch it. Very good video. That was not good. It was about hybrid memories. You know about hybrid memories, didn't you, Kenny?
So I think.
Anyway. 1 minute. What was going on about Newcastle? Sorry, I had to put that super chat up there. 1 minute. I just want to get this message off these messages. Right. You're saying about Newcastle, and you still feel there is vulnerability in our.
Absolutely. It's not because the reason why there's still vulnerability. Yeah, Arteta's tightening us up. He's trying to get us to press. When we don't have the ball, give the teams no time on the ball. He's trying to block the lines, especially down the wings, where teams are going to be very strong at the side. But what's happened with Arsenal is that the reason why we're drawing a lot of games is that two things: haven't got the fitness to finish these last the full 90 minutes. Also, we lack a bit of we're not. How do I say it? Let me just rephrase what I just said. We're not clinical enough. Without not Aubameyang, I don't see where the goals are coming from Arsenal on a consistent basis. I know people talking about Martinelli, but then again, that's another conundrum. Who is Arteta going to play? Where's the goals coming? Martinelli gets the odd ones here and there. There's Eddie Nketiah who comes off the bench in cup games and he's got a goal against Bournemouth, and Lacazette's not scoring. And then there's a conundrum around Pepe. It seems that whenever Arsenal change for formations, especially around the front three, Pepe always seems to be the player that he seems to miss out. So there has to be a situation where, they don't think that Pepe is like a certain starter in the team. Well, there's still a lot of question marks around him.
Yeah, what I'm thinking about tomorrow, though, I think because Newcastle will be very organised and they'll be difficult to break down. We need someone like Pepe. To open them up, I think that will open them up a bit more. Whereas Lacazette's, I know he works hard, but I just feel he needs a rest at the moment. And I think
if I hear what you're saying, but you've got to realise, right? If the way Arteta wants to play in terms of attacking numbers, you still need someone who can hold the ball up.
Can Martinelli do that? Do you think Martinelli could do that?
No, not at all. He's not really. Martinelli's best where he runs. Martinelli plays his best football when he runs from deep. Runs from deep and hits the attacking areas. He's got
that sort of build that you think he could do that job.
But I think with Martinelli, his best football is where people think he's a centre forward. He isn't really a centre forward. He's like a second striker, but he likes to run from deep and then attack in the box. A Chelsea goal. Explained that, exemplified that, and also he scored a goal in pre-season where again he's running from deep into areas where he can hurt the opposition, but he can't do the hold-up play. And whether we like it or not, Lacazette is off form. He's still working hard. He's the best player who can hold the ball up. Because, we've sold Olivier Giroud, who's very good at holding the ball up as well. So without, a player like Giroud, Lacazette, I can understand the reasoning behind Lacazette playing, especially if that's the way Arteta wants to play.
Yeah. Maybe the break in Dubai might have done him good. I don't know. But
I think the thing with Lacazette, it's the same sort of thing, right? I think, centre forwards, you want them. You want them to do their best work when they in the box, because that's what we bought before. We bought Lacazette to score goals, but in terms of necessities, necessity is that we need like Lacazette to like I said, bring other people into play, and I think that's where needs must, and the team's got to come first.
Kenny, can you answer that? It's Chadwick. He's come on the.
Oh, who's my all-time favourite Arsenal player? Thierry Henry. He's not just the best player, in my opinion, who's ever played for Arsenal, but he's my all-time favourite player as well because of what he's done for the club. And he's actually a great player who was consistent. A lot of great players, especially talent-wise, especially with the natural talent, not always consistent, but he always turned up for us. And it was a pleasure to watch him play. And for me, he's definitely the best player I've ever seen. I didn't see much of Liam Brady because I remember when Liam Brady went to Juventus, I was only 8 years old. So I didn't really get to see him. But you hear a lot about Liam Brady. I put Dennis Bergkamp second to Thierry Henry because I think Dennis Bergkamp he's just a master. He's the only footballer I know who's got a sat nav, in his head. How you describe Dennis Bergkamp is like you want a player who's like a spectator in the stands. When we're watching the game, right? From the stands, we can see the space before the players. We know what's going to happen. We can see the player behind. We can see the man on. The player's going to intercept, and everything. We can see it, but we can't. Like I said, fulfill that picture because we're not good enough to play football, or at professional level. That is a high level. But Dennis Bergkamp was the sort of player that you could see it in the stands. So he's definitely second for me. Obviously, I love Pat Shearer. Massive fan of Bobby Perez. Thought Fabregas was a great player. Was a great player as well. And the best left back. I'm lucky as well. I've got to see players like Kenny Sampson. In fact, I've seen some fantastic left backs at the football club. Kenny Sampson,
best left back I've seen.
Yeah, Kenny Sampson, Ashley Cole, both great left backs for the football club. Silvino was good when he was there. Nutty Winterburn, was on a podcast yesterday with Sully.
We've been blessed.
I've seen some really great players, and that's why my tolerance levels for the current players is not very high because people talk about these sort of current players. And they talk to them in exalted terms, and I'm thinking, well, hang on here. I've seen Perez play. I've seen Bergkamp play. I've seen Henry play. I've seen Vieira play. Petit, great players. I've seen Tony Adams. I've seen players like Ian Wright. I've seen Bold. I've seen David Seaman, and I'm thinking, well, hang on here. How can people lionise these current players who haven't been successful with us and compare them to those greats? And that's where my frustration comes in.
Yeah. Chadwick, that should answer your question. By the way, hello, Lawrence from America. Hello. Thank you, by the way, Chadwick.
Hi, Lawrence.
Lawrence Emanuel from Los Angeles is on the line. I don't know what time must be about. If I'm not mistaken, it must be
about 4. It must be about 4:45.
Or no, they're 8 hours. So hold on.
I was at 8 hours. So no, New York's 5 hours. So Los Angeles, you're probably right. It's probably 8 hours.
About 1:45, I would say over there. But in the afternoon.
Sorry, Lawrence. I'm going by New York time.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. I think that is anyway, Lawrence is a big anti, but he's a lovely guy. But I know he doesn't agree with me on the Kroenke situation. But I do. But he does come. But I respect that because he's probably got more in line. He knows what's going on over there as well. But anyway, good. Hopefully, Lawrence, we can bring a win to the table on Sunday. We need the wins. We need to start winning a few games because if we keep drawing, we could be edging towards a battle, which we don't really want at the end of the season. But I don't think it will come to that, do you?
Yeah, but I think it's a good point you made, is because teams around us are winning games. They're starting and we're getting results. You know, even the team from then 17, they're now, you know, they're not playing particularly well, but you know, they are winning football matches. You know, both in the Cup League.
I think we've got to forget top four. We're not getting anywhere near that, man.
Well, I think. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Cool. Sorry to interrupt you, but I hear what you're trying to say, and I do get it. And realistically, you want the scales to fall out of a lot of people's eyes, but you've got a situation where you're still getting fans who do come to these games. There's 60,000 fans coming. Mathematically, it's never impossible, and I think the players have to believe that it's on. And that way, it's got to transfer fans. It's easy for fans to say, let's write a top four. But there's still going to be disappointment if we don't get the top four. And there's still going to be disappointment if we start losing matches. So I think what it is that, you know, it's very nice to say, well, it don't matter. But it does matter, though, really, doesn't it?
Well, I'm not saying it don't matter, but to be honest with you, I was talking to Lee the other night. He's going on, oh, well, if we win the next three, we're back in it. We could be about 4 points. Yes, but the thing is, we've only won 6 games. So what's the way we're going to win the next 3? I mean,
well, you never know. You never know football, do you?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, I mean, on paper, yes, we should win the next 3. To be honest with you, looking on paper, in fact, looking at the next 6 games, we should win all 6. But I'm afraid football is not on paper. Football at the moment, I mean.
Well, I think the thing is, Claude, you know. One thing we probably did disagree with that. You say we should win it, but
I mean,
don't lie.
Not this current.
Don't lie.
I'm not talking about a current form at the moment. As I said, but in the past, if you had these games coming up, you'd be very confident, wouldn't you, of getting all 3 wins? But at the moment, sorry, mate. At the moment, the way we're playing, I'm not as confident. But what I'm trying to say to you, Kenny, that these are 3 games we really should be thinking of winning, because now this is we're getting to the territory. We're going to the last 9 or 8 games or 9 games, and we're not on 33 or 35 points. It's dodgy times, because after these games that are coming up, there's Liverpool waiting. I think Spurs, Man City. Yes. You know, these are games that are not going to be. You know, anyway, but what I'm trying to say, I think we will be okay. I think we'll be around about between 8th and 6th for me this season. I think we'll be there in that position. But we need to start picking up points now. I mean, as much as everyone is saying how well we're playing, it means nothing if the results are not coming up on the.
I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more, mate.
But. Anyway, so what was let's talk about the rumour mill going around. Aaron Ramsey. We know we've got a little WhatsApp group, us lot, haven't we? And
yes.
One of our people
should have publicised that, Claude. There's no such thing as WhatsApp groups. No one should know that you're in a WhatsApp group with anyone.
No, well, everyone knows I am. But what I'm trying to say is that one of our members did predict that that things wouldn't turn out that great for him. And to be honest with you, he's not been free of injuries, has he, through his career? No. And that's unfortunately. But what do you think about him returning? I think that's in the past now. I don't think he's not doing it at Juve, so what to say he's going to come back and do it here? So don't you think we need to move forward now? He was here for 10 years. Was it 10 years here? 10? Well, was it more? He came at the age of 17, didn't he? He went as a 17.
Yeah,
he joined in, what year? Was it 2000? And 8 was or 2009. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
He joined us. He was on. He went back on loan to Cardiff, didn't he? And he went lost in the final. That's right. Yeah. But anyway, he was plagued with that major injury he got with Stoke when he was poor cross. Took him a while to recover, but to me, he's always been in and out, hasn't he? Since then, and I'm not sure. I don't think he's the answer to come back. I don't know about you, Kenny. What do you feel?
I think the thing about it, the situation is that don't you think the football club as a business would be loath to buy a player they let go for free? You know, does it make financial sense to buy him back? Yes, he's a good player, but another thing as well, again, it's his injury record. And it all depends on Arteta and what he wants. There's no doubt that Arsenal Football Club are looking for a box-to-box midfielder. There's no doubt about it. We've been looking for a box-to-box midfielder for the last 2.5 years. Sven mentioned that when I spoke to him after the League Cup final, as good as told me that. He told me that we are looking for a box-to-box midfielder. So because we are looking for a box-to-box midfielder, Aaron Ramsey's name is always going to come up because of that. Because we do struggle as a team without Aubameyang to get goals on a regular basis. However, it's Aaron's injury record. That's the situation. Another thing as well, Aaron's wages as well. You know, Aaron's getting about, what's he getting at, 400 grand a week? The only club that I think can afford Aaron's wages is probably Man United. Again, Man United, maybe Man. I don't think Man City will be in for him, but you know, they're the most realistic team to go for Aaron, and I think that's the thing. It'll be a wages issue with Aaron in terms of negotiations. He's certainly not going to want less than 300 grand a week. So it's a situation where I think it's a no for me.
Oh well, I don't think he's going to have. I think the papers, because he's been with us all that time, and because we're looking for that type of player, they put it all together, and they. I think it is.
Yeah, but you know it is Claude. Whenever it's like, it's largely, you know, well, basically they've got nothing to report. They ain't got any football to report of great magnitude. So, and they certainly haven't got any cup games, and they're certainly not showing any interest in games in Spain and Italy. So it's highly likely that because of that, you know, stories like that can surface. They've probably had this story for the last maybe couple of weeks, but because, you know, there's no football report, well, let's just run this story now.
Yeah. Thank you, Alexander, for that. Thank you very much. He says hello, enjoying your stream. Thank you very much, Alexander. Thank you
Alex.
Your donation. That's very nice of you. Oh, I don't know about this. Did you know about this, Kenny? Zane has come up with another one there. Thank you for that. Cool. Did you see Simon Jordan was slagging off Paul Merson? What's that? Do you know about that?
I don't really know about it, but the thing with Simon Jordan is that I think what's happening is that whenever Simon Jordan speaks, you've got to remember, you've got to play straight back to that man. The reason why I say play straight back to that man, because the guy reeks the controversy. Even when he was at chairman of Crystal Palace, he was critical of the FA just to make himself look good. When he lost his job at when he lost the his title as the owner of Crystal Palace, they used to get him on the transfer show, deadline show. And he didn't really add anything of any relevance. Despite the fact he was an owner, all he did instead of promoting transfer business, all he did was promoting Simon Jordan. So whenever Simon Jordan talks, I turn a blind eye because he's on TalkSport for a reason, and that's basically to slag people off, which he's entitled to do.
Yeah, I love Mercer, so I don't care. Mercer's.
Yeah, but I think the trouble with Paul Merson. Paul Merson puts himself out there, and the trouble with Paul Merson is that I love Mercer. Got no criticism whatsoever, but Mercer's the sort of person, right? It will come out with if you ask him to say the cat sat on the mat, instead of saying that, he'll go and make a sort of like a massive statement about the cat sat on the mat, and then it becomes a headline. You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing with Mercer as well, is that Mercer's, got no patience or for anything. He was very he said it, saying some people like it, but with other people, people don't like people saying as it is because simple reason is that normally when you say as it is, you're negative. You're not positive enough. You know what I mean?
Do I see SANELLHI and VINAI still in charge of the club? Well, I'll have to get their act together in the summer, that's for sure. And let's see if they back Arteta in the summer. Yeah, I know that there, Lawrence, is where I see our problem. There you go. Not Kroenke, there, in front of you. SANELLHI and VINAI. Now, let's see what they do in the summer, because I'll be interested.
Well, the thing is, sorry to cut in, Claude. The thing is, right, we know factually now, and it's factually, it's not opinion, it's factually that the Kroenkes are providing the club with money for like I said, players' wages, salaries, and also they're supplying the club with money for transfers. We know this now. That we are now operating under a situation where we're not paying the whole fee up front. Some people want a bigger portions, and some people want it over maybe a period over 2 or 3 years. So we know that deals can go through. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, if you demand a certain amount of money and then that person doesn't spend it properly, I'm afraid then you've got to look at that person who's spending it.
Yeah, but if you think about it, sorry, cutting Claude. Sorry, cutting again. I'm cutting you quite a lot today. The reason why I'm trying to cut you is that transfers are not blueprints. It's not like the old photographs where you take the photograph, you know what it's going to look like, and then you know what the blueprint's going to look at, and then when you get the blueprint in the film, you know what the picture's like. Some players don't settle. You know what I mean? With the greatest intentions, we're all celebrating because we broke our transfer record of Nicola Pepe. A lot of people saw what he did in France, but again, you got to realise the sort of players you are going to be getting from Europe. Basically the development, also I say the transition from their league to the Premier League is massive now, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Before the French league, when Arsene Wenger signed all these players, the reason why Arsene Wenger went for his French players is because they were physically big and strong and athletic, so they can. The transition to the Premier League wasn't massive. In fact, it was seamless. Now, between the Premier League and other clubs, the transition is massive. Like everyone's talking about, Ziyech, with his 40 goals and 53 assists, or vice versa, but he's been playing the Eredivisie. The Eredivisie is a world away in terms of physicality from the Premiership. Tadic, Southampton. You know what I mean?
Let me address this point. You said give Claude 300 million. What would you go for? It's not about the 300 million, because as you find out, Man United have spent over 400 million. Look where they are at the moment. It's not about where you spend the money. It's how you spend it on and what you spend it on. You can pay £100 million for a player, and it could be absolutely woeful. And that down the road, someone could be paying £10 million for a player, and it could turn out to be a real guy. This is what I'm trying to say. It's how you recruit, who's doing the recruiting, and who's doing proper scouting. The
trouble is, Claude, is that it's very hard for people like SANELLHI and all these people and VINAI. I'm not defending them, but you've got to realise now is that in the old days, a lot of managers were taking bunks to facilitate transfers. Now we've got a situation now that when you do employ these directors of football or these people involved in transfers, a lot of these people are not from. A lot of these people have got European contacts, and they're going to be dealing with agents like Mendes, and they're going to be dealing with Sahivi, the rest of them. So what happened is that these players, these agents are going to recommend these players. Now, none of these, what SANELLHI and what VINAI should be doing is that if the transition between other leagues and the Premiership is massive, why aren't you looking at the gems in English football? Why are we not looking at these players? We shouldn't be using that excuse that, but English players cost too much. You're damn right they cost too much. Because guess what? guess what? You know, they know the league. They may play for England, but what would you rather do? Miss out on players like Grealish and Madison and go for someone in Europe who's going to take time to sell, or take a punt with these young gems who are going to be good players, and then who can fit into your team? I think there's a great suspicion of. I think the problem we have in this country is that we have, and I say it with the greatest respect, because we're a trans European league where we have trans European or world owners. What will happen now is that they are going to go for coaches from all over the world, and they're going to go for players all over the world. So players who are having 2 or 3 good seasons in the league are getting ignored.
Yeah, I agree. Claude, it says Zane has thanks Zane for that again. Claude, I read in the papers Arsenal had £250 million in the bank, yet we won't spend it. I don't think it's a case of that. Also, Zane, what you've got to understand is we are now under the what is it called, the
Financial fair play.
We're under financial play. We can only spend exactly what we bring in, and we can't just spend 300 million, and especially with our wage bill at the moment as well. We have to cut the wages. So it's about getting players out and getting the right players in. Look at Martinelli. I mean, he's done really well. It's £6 million. You know, so it's not always a fortune to get these players in. It's not all about spending. Look, and I'll give you the example. Look at Manchester United. 400 million quid they spent. Are they any better off? They're worse. They're not in a worse position. So
yeah, but the thing about it is they're still going about it the right way. They're still using their money. They're still trying to get the players in. But in a situation, these players probably haven't worked out. You've got to realise, right, is that when you play for a club like Man United, you know, you have to have a personality. You have to have that sort of je ne sais quoi. Players like Keane and Cantona, playing for Man United as well. It's like and Cristiano Ronaldo. They got the personality to play for Man United. Some players don't have the personality. I'm not just saying Man United, any big club, you know what I mean? But especially where they know there's going to be a lot of pressure. But what fans need to realise, right, is that a lot of the fans, and I say it in the nicest possible way, they don't know about the economics. They don't know about how football business is run. They'll say, everyone knows full well, if you tell a player a fan that we've got a massive wage bill, they say, oh, all right, if we've got a massive bill play, sell some players. All right, okay, we'll sell some players so we can bring some money in. All right, sell your highest paid players. Oh, yeah, let's say our highest paid player. Oh, yeah, by the way, your highest paid player is Aubameyang, Lacazette and Ozil. Let's sell them and then try and reduce our and get other players. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, no, we can't sell Lacazette. We can't sell Aubameyang. We can't sell Ozil. No, we can't do that. They're big names. We're going to be much worse. But it's a kind of a conundrum which they don't understand. They can't moan about an owner not spending any money, and so we got all these, £250 million worth of, reverse cash, and then it's set to be a part of FFP, and then we tell them how to get away around it. They don't like it, and then you've got some people who just don't care. They think that the self-sustaining club's a load of rubbish. They think that FFP's a load of rubbish, and that the owners should go. They're not coming out with any. They're not coming out with any. Thanks, Morteza. Nice to meet you, Mark. Hopefully, I'll see you again. They don't come out with any financial alternatives. They think that if they say get rid of Kroenke, that's it. That's the solution. And I don't get it until they come out with some financial solutions to replace Kroenke and with viable alternatives. Then they're going to have to lump it. I'm sorry, lump it.
There's no guarantee that this guy from Nigeria, what's his name, Dangote, will do any different. So, and he's the only one.
It'd be a fool to. Why would you go? Why would you call yourself a businessman, right? And you're a successful businessman, and then you go to a club that's self-sustaining, that is making millions and millions of pounds, and yet you're going to put your money into a club that has already got money? No businessman would do that. The first thing a proper businessman will say, well, hang on here, reduce your wage bill. He's 31. He's on 300 grand a week. Let's sell him to get money in. Surely a businessman with half a brain's going to do that. He's not going to do. He's not going to do a Mike Ashley and promise the 2 moves and then act like a normal businessman. He's probably going to have to do that. So when people start, the trouble with football fans, Claude, right, is that as soon as a billionaire rattles the jury, they get excited. They're easy meat. They're easy meat. They ain't got. They thought that Usmanov was this great man. Usmanov's a businessman. He would look to the books and went, "Oh, don't need to do it." No good. And they see fans coming. Look at all these Newcastle fans when Mike Ashley, wore Newcastle shirt, bought them all drinks. Yeah, they fell for that, innit? 10 years later, they're criticising him because he's trying to run it like a business.
Exactly. So I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Cameron. There's another one coming on here. It says, "This is thank you again, saying you're a busy man tonight. You're giving me a lot. Thank you very much, Kenny. Did you see that Van Persie said Arsenal didn't offer him a contract, and that's why he left? It's disgraceful we let him leave and keep rubbish like Ozil."
Good question. All right, good question, Zane. But the situation is, right, is that the narrative has changed in 2019 to what he was saying in 2012. In 2012, he was saying that he didn't want to sign a contract because there was a difference in opinion between how he wanted the club to move forward. And I assumed that he was talking about player recruitment in order to get a challenge for the league when we finished third, a very poor third, by the way, to Man United and Man City in 2012. So the narrative has now changed to say that, well, the contract was on the offer on the table. Offer anyway. And then he also said, the little boy inside me said that I should join Man United. So, again, the narrative changes a lot. Now, either someone's lying, either he was just saying it for the sake of it in 2012, or he's now changed his story. Now he's left Man United. You never know football, because the thing with football, right, is that people tell journalists what they want them to hear. People tell football fans what they want them to hear. Anyone in football who tells the truth is a fool, especially when you win the game. That's why, because if you tell people the truth, then you're giving a public an in into what's going on. Let me tell you something now. Football clubs are run like Chinese temples, or dare I say it, the KGB. All right? Yeah. You can have as many camera phones as you want, and you can claim you're getting access to the club. You've got no access to the club. You've got nothing. No. The game's dirty. The game's dirty. People lie, and people believe in PR and spin, and it's a dog business. And the sooner fans realise that they're not being told a full story, the better their lives will be.
Oh yeah, well we're the ones in the dark, and anyone that says they know what's going on is bullshitting. It's true. It's absolutely true. But then you are going to get a few on here. We know the characters that think they know everything that goes on inside the club.
They do know. They do something. There's no doubt they do. But they are told what they need to know. They're told what they need to know.
Exactly. Right? And that's why we had all that bullshit with what he was here, Allegri coming to us last, because they were fed that on purpose.
Fed that on purpose. The club was probably talking to Allegri, but I said before, people like Allegri is only going to go to clubs on one basis: money and a club that is genuinely going to win the league. He's not going to go take the step down by coming to us. He'd be a fool to. He'd be an absolute idiot to come to Arsenal when he's won a lot with Juventus. He's going to want to carry on winning leagues. So he's going to go. He's going to go Man United, and the people say, well, Man United don't win the league. Yeah, but Man United is still the biggest club in the world, and they're still going to give him money to spend.
Question for you, Kenny: should we break the bank for Sancho?
I don't see why not, because simple reason is that the money, if we reduce our wage bill, and we generally believe Sancho is going to be that player that is going to take us to that next level, then every good player should be on Arsenal's radar. It's not a case of saying it costs too much money. It's the going rate, and if you don't want to pay the going rate, then you're going to miss out on good players. Simple.
Right, let's look at the games at the weekend, Kenny. Big games, and even one on Monday night as well to finish off. Arsenal, Newcastle. How do you see that going, mate?
Draw 1-1.
1-1. Yeah. Oh, you don't. Oh no, come on, Ken. We've got to win that one, surely. No.
Yeah, but well, I know we've got to win it. But you've asked me what you think will happen. I told you.
No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm confident on. I think we'll beat them, but I'm confident. I don't think they'll pose much for going forward. And I think once we break them, as long as we get one early, I think we'll.
Yeah, we have got one. We have got one early in quite a few games. We've got one early against Chelsea. Remember, and look what happened there.
Yeah, I know, but that was right at the beginning. I know. Yeah, I know, but that was a night where I think certain decision went against us, and I think it didn't help.
Yeah, but the common denominator.
One of them moments, isn't they?
Yeah, but the common denominator is we're not fit enough. Until we're fit, we get to the fitness probably next season, then we're not going to be finishing games off. And
the game at earlier in the afternoon, Tottenham away at Villa. I think Aston Villa. Jose versus John Terry, isn't it?
Well, the thing about it, the worst thing that's ever happened with Aston Villa is that they're in the League Cup final.
Yeah.
The reason why is that players are not going to want to get themselves injured or want themselves booked.
But hold on,
because they don't want to miss out on Wembley.
Yeah, but they've got a big. They've got more important things to worry about.
They say a cup final is a cup final, Claude. Doesn't matter. You could. No, yeah, next week. 2 weeks time.
Oh,
You could talk. You could say the right things. That the league's more important and blah blah blah. A day out of Wembley, all right, in an FA Cup, in a League Cup final against Man City. Whether you like it or not, whether Man City are going to have the players or not. League Cup finals at before the kickoff, it's a 50-50. No, so that's going to affect how they play against Tottenham. It doesn't matter whether they're in a relegation zone or not. It could affect them adversely to the extent that players aren't going to want to get themselves injured or want to put some in. Or it could be a situation where certain players who may want to put themselves in the shop window. So a 50-50 thing. But it's not... If Aston Villa say were not in the League Cup final, I would have had more hope for them against Spurs.
Come on, you Gunners. It says, Claude, thanks, Zane. 4-1 to Arsenal, Zane says. 4-1.
You went last one. You haven't given me a result. I'm going for 2-1 Tottenham.
You're going 2-1 Tottenham?
Yeah, because I don't think Villa are going to be. I just think the League Cup finals will be in the back of their minds.
DJ Fury says Arsenal 3-1. And the 6 says 2-1 to Arsenal. I think that could be. I think Spurs will win comfortably, actually. I think they'll win comfortably there. So I'm going to go 3-1. I don't like to say it, but I'm afraid. The big one on Monday night, which should be a real cracker, Chelsea are home to Manchester United, isn't it? Are they at home, Chelsea? I think they're
home. Man United. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, because they lost there in the first 4-0, isn't it, at Old Trafford?
Man United win that. Man United win that because Man United, Chelsea, two things that will go against Chelsea in that game. If they don't start quickly and they don't score early goals. If Man United, Chelsea struggle to break down teams who've got men behind the ball and teams on the counter attack, and that's where I think Man United, despite the fact that they might be missing Rashford, blah blah, they still pace. They got pace to burn. If they keep themselves, if Man United keep themselves to the game and still hit them on the counter attack, I can only see Man United winning that game. Also, another thing with Chelsea as well, they don't have the game managers that they had before under Mourinho, under Ancelotti, and under Conte. They've got a lot of players who, when they do go maybe 1-0 up or 2-1 up in the last 10 minutes, they don't have to know how to close the game out. So I still think that Man United will have some sort of hope. I can't see Man United will not lose that game anyway. So I'm going to go for 1-0 Man United. And Man United are better defensively than they are as well.
Okay, well, that's a bold prediction. I think Chelsea will win that. I think they'll win it 1-0. I think 1-0. Our friend Tony Rolfe, I'm sure, will be at the game on Monday night.
I think Tony Rolfe is going to be probably throwing things at the screen after my prediction.
Zane is saying, thank you again, Zane. Grealish hat trick, he says. Hat trick against Spurs, he says.
Jesus Christ.
I wish.
I'll tell you what, if Grealish starts scoring hat tricks, he's gonna put a few noughts on his transfer fee if he decides to leave Villa.
Yeah. Listen. Yeah. So anyone else with predictions? Let's have a look. Yeah. Someone is. That's a confident one. That's 6-2 Arsenal. I don't know who's going to get all the goals because at the moment. Here's one. What's happened there? Ramsey was awful to MJMC, and Ramsey was awful today. Got taken off after 60 minutes and kicked a bottle when he came off. Won't be surprised if he came back to England because he's clearly not happy in Italy. I didn't know.
Who's going to be able to afford his wages? Who's going to be able to take?
Well,
to come back to England, Arsenal. He won't. Arsenal have to look at his wages. And I know it's probably not right for me to say, but it's a wage issue now. You know, and plus he's transfer free as well. We've let him go for nothing. Now does it make business sense to bring him back? No. One, we can't afford his salary he's on, and two, why pay over £40 million for a player we let go on a free?
Do you agree with this?
What's he saying?
Jake Simister, he says, as a Liverpool fan, comparing Arsenal to Liverpool, Arsenal at the moment, I like Liverpool's Kenny's Dalglish.
100%, Drake. 100%, Jake. Jake, 100% agree with you. That's exactly where we are.
No, I think they were better. I think they were better. Actually.
No. In 2012, they won the League Cup final on penalties. They got to the FA Cup final. But there was still a few players missing. Steven Gerrard was virtually carrying that side. Carragher was coming on his last legs. They were very much, dare I say it, sorry, Tate, very much a mid-table club in 2012. Despite the fact they had Suarez and Andy Carroll, who Brendan Rodgers got rid of. Because he didn't fit in there where they want to play, but Brendan Rodgers didn't inherit a strong Liverpool side when he got the job in June in 2012.
Right, so Kenny's treble for the week is you're going Arsenal draw, Spurs, and Man United to win. Yeah,
afraid so.
That's Kenny's treble this week. Yeah, so get down the bookies because Kenny normally is spot on with his predictions. So anyway, Claude, Fake Taxi John? No, I don't know Fake Taxi John. Another game there at the weekend. I didn't miss that. I can't. Oh, dear Jesus, I think Liverpool's run will continue. Says Norwich. Where is that? Is that Liverpool or Norwich?
No, it's Norwich. Liverpool. You know, with Liverpool, they're very professional. They're very professional.
They'll win that 3-0.
Yeah, but the thing is, they won't go there. They won't go to Norwich.
Norwich is dead, mate.
Yeah, I don't know. Norwich are a good side. Norwich are playing good football. Just been terribly unlucky. Mind you, Norwich have got Spurs in the FA Cup, haven't they? In the 5th round.
I think we might be playing them. I've got a feeling we're going to be playing them either in the quarters or the semis.
No. Let's speak. Hang on. We haven't played Portsmouth yet.
Oh, come on, Kenny. Come on.
We haven't played Portsmouth yet.
Kenny, that's a bye, mate. It's a bye.
Is it? Still got to work hard, Claude. You still got to work hard. Kenny, mate. We ain't losing that one, mate. I'll tell you that now. There's no. The beauty of English football is, especially in the cup competitions, is that anything can happen.
There's more chance of Arsenal women beating us, mate.
Wrexham, 92, remember that?
Yeah,
After
but
we won the league.
Kenny.
Wrexham. Or Bradford on penalties.
Remember that? It's League 1 or League 2?
Bradford. Remember Bradford? In 20...
Kenny.
Bradford.
You know, I've been on a course this week, yeah?
Yes.
I've been on a course, yeah? And you're talking about Bradford, and they because they were showing us a film about, they were talking about safety and fire safety, and they were showing us the Bradford fire.
Oh God, so sad. So sad.
How horrific that was, mate. And I was watching it, and within 2 minutes, a bloke who just threw his fag on the floor, yeah? Just threw a fag on the floor with his kid. They would put some drink over it to get it, but it spread. And within 3 minutes, the whole stand, it went right. You could see the fire go right from one end of the stand to the other. I've never seen anything like it. People jumping onto the pitch. It was.
I remember watching this. I remember you 13 when it happened.
Yeah,
and the scene's still traumatic even now.
It's amazing that not many more people died actually, because it was so.
But you know what it was? Is that the stand was made out of wood, wasn't it?
Yeah, and do you know what you know what the biggest problem is there? Because we were talking about fire exits and all that. Do you know that? You know all the exits at the back of the stands. All them people perished because they were all bloody all locked. The stands, the gate, were all locked, so they couldn't get out. So the only ones that got on the pitch, and even I could see some bloke. They were patting him down, but it was burning.
I've seen those scenes. I've seen those scenes.
It's horrific. It was horrific, Kenny. It was horrific, and it just reminded me of the Bradford.
I think what we had is that it was annus horribilis for English football. We had Bradford. You know, there was a situation where a fan got killed in a hooliganism fight between Leeds and Birmingham, and then we had Heysel as well. And that was Heysel, you know, So it was a very terrible year for English football in '85, and then it was a terrible time to be a football fan because we were getting kicked from pillar to post.
I knew about the fire, but I never seen that actual video. And when I saw that, I was looking at it. I said, I couldn't believe it. And you see the clock going because there was a commentary that I don't know. I think it was a Yorkshire TV. It was a well-known commentator at the time. Anyway, the ball was. He was going. They were talking about the game, and the ball was flying.
They're playing Lincoln City. My memory serves you right. They're playing Lincoln City, and I believe that Terry Yorf, Gabby Yorf's dad, was he was either manager that time, or was he playing? But he was definitely involved. Although, you know, like Stuart McCall, was he playing that time as well?
I'm not sure, but some players I didn't recognise.
I know. There's a guy called.
It was in the '80s anyway, so.
Yeah, I know, but you know, their captain was a guy who managed Bradford and Huddersfield, a guy called Jackson. So I do remember that quite well.
It's very sad, very sad. It just shows you what one cigarette can do, Ken. Incredible, isn't it?
But it just shows you what the time is. In the '80s, crowd safety wasn't paramount to the authorities. It was all about public. You know, like I said, crowd disorder and everything, or keeping public order. And I think the football grounds we went to in the '80s were not fit for purpose. You want to put an animal in some of these grounds, you know, and like I said, the wash facilities, the toilets were disgusting at all football grounds in the '80s.
Oh, mind you, it's still disgusting. I went to Bournemouth the other week, man. They had one little coffee bar. The toilets were a disgrace.
It's the same at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is the toilet. Crystal Palace, but you got to realise a lot of these grounds are very old grounds. Like, you know, Crystal Palace is an old ground, so is Fulham, and Bournemouth. Bournemouth old ground. You got to realise that Bournemouth are punching above their weight, aren't they? They're basically, in terms of their facilities, though they're trying to upgrade them, are virtually League One facilities, but they're Premiership football in terms of capacity, isn't it?
And guess what? Oh, what? Zainers has come up with another one. Kenny, did you see when Liverpool owners visited the Emirates, they decided against a new stadium when they saw the atmosphere was rubbish at the Emirates?
I think what's happened is that whenever any club who built, basically Arsenal's been a litmus test for a lot of the clubs. Liverpool, it's been a litmus test for not so much the Olympic Stadium at West Ham, because the Olympic Stadium at West Ham was basically an athletic stadium. But I know, like when Spurs built their stadium, they did look at the Emirates, and it was a very much litmus stadium. And it was, I think, because we were the first team to actually build a new stadium, although there was others before us. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that in terms of that team, clubs wouldn't be looking at Arsenal and said, right, what are they doing right and what are they doing wrong? How can we improve what Arsenal are doing? And I think when you look at Spurs' stadium, they've looked at the good things that we did with the Emirates, and they've also thought, well, they haven't done that, and they've done improvements. For instance, in terms of the finances as well, they've done a very good deal with the NFL. In order to split the cost between the stadium costs. Remember, they don't want to get themselves in what we did, having a stadium debt, although we've got 17 years to pay our debt off.
Here's one for you, Kenny, before we go. Is the Premier in a serious danger of becoming the Farmers League? The revenue City and Liverpool make up are much more compared to other teams. We can't keep up with them. Their revenue ain't that brilliant. I mean, it's not the revenue; it's just that they've got great teams at the moment.
Yeah, but the thing is, how do you say? Is it Wooyoung? Wooyoung. Thanks for your question, mate. What I'm going to try and say now is that it's still a strong league, but the thing is that Liverpool at the moment, Liverpool and Man City are on such a level in terms of like the way they're playing, the football they're playing. Not just in terms of the Premiership, but what they can achieve in Europe. But there is going to be a massive gap because it's the quality. You can look at Man City's squad; they can have two teams. Liverpool, to a certain extent, haven't got a massive squad like Man City, but the quality, and you got to realise that they've both got two great coaches as well. Pep's a great coach. Klopp's a great as well. So it's about the coaching and improving these players. And in the moment, Klopp and Pep are the best in the business. But when you look at the Premier League as well, if you take out Liverpool and Man City, there isn't a gap in quality, a massive gap in quality between, Leicester in third, all the way down to Norwich, who are there at the bottom of the league. Norwich, there's nothing to stop Norwich from going from.
It's clear, mate.
But true. But there's nothing to stop Norwich from going up to Leicester and giving them an idea. Norwich beat Man City at home, innit? So what I'm trying to say, there isn't a gap in terms of quality. There, all these teams have got someone who can put the ball in the net to a certain extent, and they've got good midfielders. Norwich have got some good players. They've got a good left back, good right back, potentially. They've got, like I said, they've got Cantwell, whose clubs are going to be looking into as well. And then remember, they've got the guy Pookie who scores goals. So, you could say that the reason why they are at the moment is because they're not putting teams away, or they've had some bad luck. So what I'm saying is that from third that onwards, I still think it's competitive. You look at it, Arsenal can't win a game. They're not too far from like trying to get in the top four, but they're not too far from the bottom seven. So there isn't that much in terms of like the gap in quality between a lot of teams outside Man City and Liverpool.
Yeah, I'll leave this last one and then we'll call it a day, Kenny. But what is it? Who's this one? Top four predictions. Come on.
All right. Liverpool, Man City, Leicester, Chelsea.
I don't think I can argue with that. The only thing I possibly can see Spurs possibly pipping them for fourth.
The only way Spurs get in the top four, they win at the Stamford Bridge. They win at Stamford Bridge. They got a chance. They don't win at Stamford Bridge, they won't get in there.
The Chelsea team at the moment is still a bit naive to me. I don't know. I'm not 100%. But I think it's between them two, though. I do think it's between them two. I think Man United are... no.
Depends. If Aguero starts scoring goals, and they start...
Well, he's been in quarantine.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe all I'm trying to say is they bought a quality player in Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah,
who won't take that long to settle. You know, if they can get McTominay back for fitness and they could get some goals out of Martial, you can never say never, Man United. Never say never, that team. They're capable of beating anyone in this league. Yeah. And I don't mean by their goal. I'm talking about comfortably.
Well, Arsenal ladies beat Liverpool 3-2 apparently. So well done to the ladies. That's good news to end the night on. Kenny, thank you so much. It's dead on the hour.
Not a problem, mate. Enjoy myself.
Thank you for giving your time up tonight. I know tomorrow is up for work early in the morning. Like me, we'll be up early tomorrow. I probably might see you in the cafe. I don't know.
You know what it is, Claude, right? The reason, you know, like I said, I was able to keep one eye open on the last bit of Death in Paradise. But you know my murder mystery programs I like watching on the Crime Channel. I've missed that because I put you first.
You shouldn't have done that, mate. You could have put it on +1 or something.
Don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about it. You know, like a murder, a crime's a crime, isn't it?
Is it this weekend, the big fight?
No, that's next week. Tyson Fury fight. Are you a boxing fan, Claude?
I want to see that fight. Yeah, I definitely want to watch that fight.
Claude, let me tell you something now, right? You can build a fight up, but let me tell you something now. That it's 50-50, that fight between Tyson Fury and Wilder. We saw the best of Tyson Fury in the first fight. We saw the worst of Wilder. Tyson Fury claims that he's going to go for a knockout, but we know that if he does go for a knockout and he doesn't tag him, then he gets tagged. So it's one of the. Let me tell you that. They are easily the best heavyweights out there, and Anthony Joshua's probably a poor third to both of them.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we can't write Joshua off. Can't write him off.
No, you can't write Joshua off. He's got a puncher's chance. But in terms of like the levels that, you know, like Deontay Wilder is because of the big punch and Tyson Fury as well. They really are, for me, two of the out there as two of the best heavyweights. And, you know, Joshua, obviously, if he's, you know, beats Pulev. For Joshua to be called a great, he has to beat either Fury or Wilder for him to be up there.
Yeah, I agree with you. But we'll see, and hopefully that'll be next Saturday night. Is it? It'll be early hours in the morning, won't it?
Well, you like said, you can watch the boxing, have a bit of sleep, and go and watch the Arsenal play Everton.
Oh, I think the boxing will be more interesting somehow. Okay, Kenny, thanks a lot, mate, and thanks to everyone for joining us. Thank you for all your great comments. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. See you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.